Hello YouTube, Crazy Robot Lady here with day 10 of getting to know, or let's get to know 1986 Playmates Cricket. Oh. As you see, I am decked out in my PJs, and so is Miss Cricket. Probably from now on, her tapes will have a corresponding outfit. At least until I get to the second section of this series, where we will drop back into outfits or outfit tapes and activity book tapes that I didn't own before. But that will probably be a long time off. So please enjoy the present content. Just know there will probably be more in the future, but at a slower pace, because I have to acquire them. Well, I'm sorry for my presentation today. Not only am I in my PJs, but I'm actually kind of sleepy. I went to the doctor this morning because my neck was hurting on the right side, and I discovered I have some kind of external ear infection, but it made the lymph nodes on the right side of my neck get as big as single peanuts, and that's pretty big for a lymph node that's supposed to be, I don't know, about the size of a popcorn kernel, maybe? I don't know, maybe smaller than that. So they gave me this whopping shot. I have no idea what was in it, but I am superly drowsy, and I probably look like I rolled out of the bed. I also took off my headband to be a little more authentic. But anyway, my apologies for all of the rambling. We are here today to listen to Sleepy Time with Cricket. So, cuddle up with your kitty, or your pupper in my case. Come, Teddy. There's my boy. This is my pupper. Yeah. And let's get ready to enjoy this awesome adventure.
I'll tell you stories and I'll make you laugh, 'cause you're my friend. Hi, this is Cricket talking to ya. You know, I play hard all day long, so every night after dinner, I'm already starting to get a little sleepy. I usually watch one TV show, and then my mom says, "Cricket, time for your bath." That's when I start getting ready for bed. Right now, I'd like to sing you a song about bedtime. You can listen to it while you're getting ready for bed. Here's how it goes. The clock says 8, it's getting late. Bedtime, don't you know? It's been a day full of work and play. So up to bed I go. I take a bubble bath, I leave the bathroom neat. When I get ready for bed, I put my slippers on to warm my feet. When I get ready for bed, I always make sure to brush my teeth. Then I pull down the covers and climb underneath. I fluff the pillow up where I lay my head. When I get ready for bed, Mom or Dad is asleep before me. I take a bubble bath, I leave the bathroom neat. When I get ready for bed, I put my slippers on to warm my feet. When I get ready for bed, I always make sure to brush my teeth. Then I pull down the covers and climb underneath. I fluff the pillow up where I lay my head when I get ready for bed. Was that a fun song or what? Later on, we'll sing it again, and you can sing with me. You know, it's important to go to bed on time, because if you don't, the next day you'll be too tired to have any fun. I have a friend named Bobby who lives in the country. Last time I went to visit, Bobby had such a hard time staying awake. He reminded me of the boy in the nursery rhyme. You know the one. Little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. Where is the boy who looks after the sheep? He's under the haystack, fast asleep. Well, Bobby was always falling asleep too. So I nicknamed him Little Bobby Blue. And if I hadn't been there, the same thing that happened to Little Boy Blue would have happened to Bobby. The first morning I saw Bobby, I said, "Gee, Bobby, you look awfully sleepy." "I am," Bobby said with a big yawn. "I stayed up late last night watching TV. And I don't know how I'm ever going to finish milking the cow." "Come on," I said, "I'll help you." And we went off to the barn. But when we got there, Bobby said, "I think I'll just take a little rest. Cricket, why don't you milk the cow?" Well, the first thing that cow did was to swat me with her tail. But pretty soon, she got used to me. And I milked till the pail was full. It was fun. "Bobby, look," I said. And I turned around and picture this. He was fast asleep. So I said, wake up, Bobby Blue. You still have chores to do." Did I fall asleep?" Bobby said with a yawn. "You sure did," I said. "You know, you should go to bed earlier tonight." "I will," said Bobby. "I promise." "I really do." But when I saw Bobby the next morning, I said, "Gee, Bobby, you still look awfully sleepy." "I am," Bobby said with a big yawn. "I stayed up late last night making a model plane. And I don't know how I'm ever going to finish rounding up the sheep." "Come on, Bobby," I said. "I'll help you." And we went off to the meadow. But when we got there, Bobby said, "I think I'll just take a little rest. Cricket, why don't you round up the sheep?" Well, the first thing those sheep did was to stop right in their tracks. But pretty soon, they got used to me. And we walked till we got to the barn. "Bobby, look," I said. And I turned around and pictured this. He was nowhere in sight. So I went back out to the meadow and found him fast asleep. Again. Then I said, wake up, Bobby Blue. There are no more chores for you to do." Did I fall asleep again?" Bobby said with a yawn. "You sure did," I said. "You really should go to bed earlier tonight, 'cause I have to go home pretty soon." "You do?" said Bobby. "But I've hardly got to see you at all." "That's because," I said, "when I was awake, you were asleep. And when you were awake, I was asleep." "You're right," said Bobby. "Tonight, I really will go to sleep earlier." "That's great," I said. "That way, we can have fun tomorrow all day long. Yay!" Did Bobby learn his lesson or what? One night, I was having trouble getting to sleep. So my mom said, "Cricket, why don't you count sheep? That always helps me get to sleep." Well, you know what? I tried counting sheep, but it sure didn't help me. Well, I'll tell you what happened. You pretend your fingers are the sheep. Put 5 fingers up in the air, and when I say one went home, you put one of your fingers down. Here we go. 5 little sheep came out to play, merrily on their way. One went home to clean and sweep. Now there's only 4 little sheep. When I said one went home, did you put one of your fingers down? Now you should have 4 fingers in the air. 4 little sheep came out to play, merrily on their way. One went home with Little Bo Peep. Now there's only 3 little sheep. 3 little sheep came out to play, merrily on their way. One went home in a big red Jeep. Now there's only 2 little sheep. 2 little sheep came out to play, merrily on their way. One went home with a bound and a leap. Now there's only one little sheep. One little sheep came out to play, merrily, merrily on his way. He went home to get some sleep. Now I don't have any little sheep, and I'm still awake. Am I silly or what? Every night after I get in bed, and just before I fall asleep, I like to look out my window and see the stars. There are so many of them, and there's a special one called the evening star, because it's the first star to come out at night. But I call it the wishing star. Whenever I see it, I look at it real hard and say this rhyme. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. Then I close my eyes and make my wish. I know! Why don't you try saying the rhyme with me? Then the next time you see the wishing star, you can make a wish too. Here we go. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. You can make a wish no matter which star you see first, but don't tell anybody what you wish for. That's a secret between you and your star. Now that we've said our rhyme, let's sing a song about a star. I bet you've heard it. It's called Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. But you know, twinkle, twinkle's a lot longer than you might think. So why don't you sing along with me? And then I'll sing some new words you may not have heard before. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. How the traveler in the dark thanks you for your tiny spark. He could not see which way to go if you did not twinkle so. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. In the dark blue sky you keep, and often through my curtains peep, for you never shut your eye till the sun is in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Have you ever gotten up in the morning and wonder if you've dreamed something or if it really happened? I know a story about a boy named Jack who did just that. Well, I tell you the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. Why don't you dress me in my sleepy time outfit? Then we'll both be ready for bed. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Jack who loved to grow things in his garden. He loved to grow things so much. He was always trying to grow them as big as he could. Jack's garden was full of extra long carrots and big fat cabbages and humongous cantaloupes. Jack, his mother would say, what will you ever do with such a humongous cantaloupe? I'll win first prize at the fair, Jack would say. But Jack, his mother would say, I can't get my car out of the garage. Your cantaloupe is blocking the door. And so it went. Until the day Jack saw an ad in the back of an old comic book. Super duper wonder means, said the ad. Grow them overnight, absolutely, positively guaranteed to produce the tallest beanstalk in the world, or double your money back. Oh boy, said Jack, another first prize at the fair. And he sent away for the beans that very day. Every afternoon for nearly a week, Jack looked in his mailbox when he got home from school. The beans didn't come on Monday, and they didn't come on Tuesday, and they didn't come on Wednesday. But on Thursday, they did come. Jack rushed out to his garden, dug a hole, watered the hole, dropped in the beans, covered them with dirt, watered the dirt, and sat down to wait. He waited till 6 o'clock, but nothing happened. Jack, his mother called, come and have your dinner. In a minute, Mom, said Jack. And he waited till 7 o'clock, but nothing happened. Jack, his mother called, come and do your homework. In a minute, Mom, said Jack. And he waited till 8 o'clock, but nothing happened. Jack, his mother called, come and get into bed. In a minute, Mom, said Jack. And he waited, and then he fell asleep. The next thing Jack knew, he was looking at the tallest beanstalk he'd ever seen. It was so tall, he couldn't even see the top. Oh boy, said Jack, I gotta check this out. So Jack began climbing the beanstalk. And he climbed, and he climbed, and when he got to the top, he was in a whole garden full of gigantic things. The tallest corn, the hugest pumpkins, and the most gigantic giant he'd ever seen. Fee, fi, fo, fum, said the giant. But Jack was a brave boy, and he said, "Now wait just a minute, Mr. Giant. My name is Jack, and I only wanted to take a look at your garden." Well, that stopped the giant, because no one had ever talked to him that way before. But Jack was a smart little boy, too, and he knew the giant wouldn't stop for long, so he put his shoulder to the nearest pumpkin, and he pushed, till he got it over to the beanstalk. Then, fee, fi, fo, fum, said the giant. "Little boy, where did you come from?" And Jack looked over his shoulder, and he saw the giant was almost on top of him. So he wrapped his arms around the beanstalk, closed his eyes, and the last thing he heard was the giant calling, "Jack, oh Jack, you forgot your pumpkin." "Jack, oh Jack," said his mother as she shook him awake. "Wake up, Jack. You can't sleep outside." "But," said Jack, "my beanstalk, the giant." "Oh, Jack," said his mother, "you must have been having a dream." So Jack went to bed, and the next morning when he looked out the window, there was no beanstalk in his garden. I guess it was just a dream, Jack thought, until his mother came inside and said, "Jack, how am I ever going to get my car out of the garage?" "What do you mean, Mom?" said Jack. "Now there's a gigantic pumpkin blocking the door," said his mother. And sure enough, when he went outside, what do you think he saw? You guessed it, a pumpkin as big as a house. Was that a humongous story or what? You know, I'm getting really sleepy. It must be bedtime by now. I know, I'll sing my song about going to bed while you finish getting ready. Here goes. I take a bubble bath, I leave the bathroom neat. When I get ready for bed, I put my slippers on to warm my feet. When I get ready for bed, I always make sure to brush my teeth. Then I pull down the covers and climb underneath. I fluff the pillow up where I lay my head when I get ready for bed. Did you take a bath? If you did you remember to pick up your clothes and hang up your towel?
Yes.
Did you put on your pajamas?
Yes.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yes.
Well then, it's bedtime. You can go to sleep now, or you can turn my tape over and listen to a bedtime story. But whatever you do, just remember, I'll be talking to you.
All right, let's struggle with this sleepy time outfit. Oh, it's such a pain. It fits her kind of close, and so you have to get through her Velcro, and then you have to deal with, if it's my Cricket, these tape prongs. Even though they're flat now, which is a lot better than before, they still will get in my way. And now I've got to put her back together. Make sure her blue is out. Now get this really short gown back down. And reposition her. Ugh. You're losing a sock, Cricket. Oh, and Jill threw her phone at me. Okay. So, let's get comfortable again. Sorry, Jill, that time I did it.
Now that you're in bed, I'd like to sing you a song to help you fall asleep. Sleep, sleep, floating away to a place where dreams are found. Sleep, sleep, at the end of the day, all the world slows down. The birds in the trees, the ducks on the lake, the animals sleep, no sound do they make. Only the stars are still awake. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Sleep, sleep, there in your room with the ones you love nearby. Sleep, sleep, above you the moon is gliding across the sky. How softly it shines, what shadows it makes, while everyone sleeps until morning breaks. Only the stars are still awake. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Before I tell you a bedtime story, I want you to get really comfortable. Lie down under the covers and feel how soft and warm they are. Now let your eyes close very slowly. That's good. Now let your whole body relax. Relax your fingers and your arms. Relax your legs and your feet.
And your toes.
Picture yourself floating on a comfortable little cloud. Doesn't that feel good? Now breathe in slowly. Now breathe out. Now breathe in again. And breathe out. I hope you're feeling all nice and comfy now, because I'm going to tell you a story. If you want, you can fall asleep while I'm telling it. When my little brother was a baby, sometimes he didn't like to go to sleep. My mom would put him in bed, and he would start crying. Wee, wee. So Mom would pick him up, sit in her rocking chair, and sing him to sleep. I used to sit down on the floor and listen, and one day she sang a really pretty song to him. Here's how it went. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Mama's gonna give you a mockingbird. Gee, I thought, my little brother sure is lucky. Mom rocks him and sings to him, and she's even gonna give him a mockingbird. Then I thought about how neat it would be to have a mockingbird of my own. He could sit on my shoulder and maybe even build a nest on my windowsill. My brother sure was lucky. When Mom put my little brother to bed the next day, he started crying again. Wah, wah. So she picked him up and sat down in her rocking chair. I thought they looked pretty cozy, so I tried to climb up in the rocking chair too, but there wasn't enough room. Oh, Cricket, said my mom, you're getting to be such a big girl. Most of the time it felt really good to be a big girl, but right then I wanted to be little, just like my brother. Anyway, I sat back down on the floor and listened while Mom sang my brother to sleep. Hush, little baby, don't you cry. Mama's gonna bake you an apple pie. And if that apple pie spills over, Mama's gonna give you a dog named Rover. Gee, I thought, my little brother sure is lucky. Mom rocks him and sings to him, and she's even gonna give him a dog named Rover. Then I thought about how neat it would be to have a dog of my own. I could throw a ball for him to chase, and we could play together all day long. My brother sure was lucky. When Mom put my little brother to bed the next day, he started crying again. Wah, wah. So she picked him up and went to sit down in her rocking chair, but I got there first. Let me hold him, I said. No, Cricket, said my mom. You're too little to hold the baby. Gee, I thought, I'm too big to sit in the chair and too little to hold the baby. I feel kind of left out. So I sat back down on the floor and listened while Mom sang my brother to sleep. Hush, little baby, rest your head. Mama's gonna make you a feather bed. And if that feather bed falls apart, Mama's gonna give you a horse and cart. Gee, I thought, my little brother sure is lucky. Mom rocks him and sings to him, and she's even gonna give him a horse and cart. That's what I always wanted. I didn't feel like listening to any more of the song, so I went to my room and got under the covers. I liked my little brother, but how come he was always getting held and rocked? And how come Mom was going to give him all those neat things? I was beginning to think that Mom liked him more than me, and that didn't feel good at all. But just then, Daddy came in to say goodnight. Why the long face, Cricket, he said. So I told him about all the things Mom was going to give my little brother. Then my dad hugged me real tight and said, it's only a lullaby, Cricket, to help the baby get to sleep. We love you even more than ever. Well, that made me feel a whole lot better. Would you like me to sing a lullaby to you, Daddy said. Yes, I said, and so he did. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. Daddy's gonna give you a mockingbird. And if that bird flies off to town, you'll still be the sweetest little girl around. Was that a sweet story or what? My little brother didn't get a mockingbird after all, but he did get a teddy bear. He sure loved that bear a lot. He slept with it and played with it and even spilled cereal on it, and he hugged it so much that after a while, it didn't have any fur left at all. I know a poem about a little bear like that, and it goes like this. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Is that fuzzy? I mean funny or what? You know, one time I decided I was tired of sleeping in my same old bed every night. I wonder what other kind of places there were to sleep. So this is what I did. I went to a bird, and here's what I said. Where do you sleep? And what kind of bed? She showed me her nest up in a tree, but it was way too high for me. I went to a dog, and here's what I said. Where do you sleep? And what kind of bed? He showed me his house out in the yard, but I thought his mattress a little too hard. I went to a cow, and here's what I said. Where do you sleep? And what kind of bed? She showed me the barn with sweet-smelling hay, but it was too cold. Thanks anyway. I went to a bear and a fish and a cat. Their beds were too big or too wet or too flat. No nest or cave or barn for me. My own soft bed is where I should be. Sleep, sleep, floating away to a place where dreams are found. Sleep, sleep, at the end of the day, all the world slows down. The birds in the trees, the ducks on the lake, the animals sleep, no sound do they make. Only the stars are still awake. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Once upon a time in a far-off land, there lived a beautiful young princess who was not quite 16. Her father, the king, loved his daughter so much that one day he said, "Next week is your birthday, my dear, and you may have whatever you wish." "Oh, thank you," said the princess to her father. "What I wish for is to be all grown up." "But you shall be grown up for such a long time," said the king. "Why not remain a girl for just a little longer?" "Well then," said the princess to her father, What I wish for is to be a young lady. That's halfway between a girl and a grown-up. Then a young lady you shall become, said the king, and he began to plan a wonderful ball for her birthday. He invited all the neighboring kings and queens and princes and princesses, and all the local fairies too, because even the king knew that without fairies there would be no magic, and everybody knows that a birthday is the most magical day of the year. Soon the big day came, and the palace filled with guests from far and wide. When the ball began, the princess danced with all the neighboring princes. But there was one prince who was her favorite, and she danced with him the most. Of course, he was tall and dark and handsome and brave and courteous and kind and sincere and charming too. But above all else, he was true, which means he always told the truth. Then suddenly the fairies arrived. The fairies are here, everyone said. Make way for the fairies. And into the room flew two of the princess's favorite fairies, Marigold and Daffodil. They were both dressed in shimmery gowns of gold, with golden sparkles in their hair and golden slippers on their toes. Happy birthday, princess, the two fairies sang. We've brought you magical gifts on this most magical day. Then Marigold came forward. What have you brought for me, said the princess to Marigold. And Marigold said, I have brought you the gift of wisdom. For without wisdom, a little girl can never become a young lady. Then Marigold gave the princess a beautiful book, in which was written all the things there were to know. And the princess said, Oh, thank you so very much for your gift of wisdom. Then Daffodil came forward. What have you brought for me, said the princess to Daffodil. And Daffodil said, I have brought you the gift of caring. For without caring, a little girl can never become a young lady. Then Daffodil gave the princess a beautiful necklace with a locket in the shape of a heart. And the princess said, Oh, thank you so very much for your gift of caring. Then the king came forward and said, Thank you, good fairies, for your kind gifts. But where is Peach Blossom, my daughter's most favorite fairy? She is late, said the fairies, but do not fear. Before the stroke of midnight, Peach Blossom will appear. And everybody cheered. Then the band began to play again, and the princess danced once more with her favorite prince. But because he must always speak what is true, the prince soon said, I must leave you now, dear princess, to seek my fortune in far-off lands, but I promise we shall marry when I return. Then the prince gave the princess a kiss on her cheek and said, Someday I will kiss you again, and then he was gone. And then, who should appear but the fairy Peach Blossom? Peach Blossom is here, everyone said. Make way for Peach Blossom. Then Peach Blossom came forward. And what have you brought for me, said the princess to Peach Blossom. And Peach Blossom said, I have brought you the gift of happiness. For without happiness, a little girl can never become a young lady. But before Peach Blossom could bestow her gift, the clock struck 12. The princess sighed. Her eyelids fluttered, and she fell down on the floor in a deep sleep. Oh no, cried Peach Blossom, I'm too late after all. For as everyone knows, if midnight interrupts a fairy spell, then her magic will be turned inside out. Now my gift of happiness has become an endless sleep. But there must be something we can do, cried the king. No, nothing, said Peach Blossom. Only the kiss of her one true love can awaken her now. Soon the news of the Sleeping Beauty spread, and princes came from far and wide to see if they were her true love. But of course, not one of them was. Then one day, after 3 years had passed, there came to the palace door a beggar dressed in rags. What do you wish, said the king to the beggar. And the beggar said, I wish to kiss the Sleeping Beauty. What? You? Said the king. How can you possibly be her one true love? Because I always speak the truth, said the beggar. Guards, take him away, said the king. But Peach Blossom had heard the beggar's words, and she said, Let him stay, O king. Let the truthful beggar have his wish. So the king led the beggar to his daughter, and the beggar knelt down beside Sleeping Beauty and kissed her gently on the cheek. The princess sighed, her eyelids fluttered, and then she smiled and said, Oh, thank you so very much for your gift of happiness. Then the king cried for joy, and Peach Blossom was so delighted she danced on the ceiling. And as for Sleeping Beauty, who was still beautiful but sleepy no more, she married her prince, and they both lived happily ever after. Sweet dreams, nighty-night. See you in the morning. I'll be talking to ya.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Now I have to get this furry stone off me so that I can get up and end this video. So, I guess I will do my usual outro. Like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you will know whenever I upload new content. God bless, and I will see you in the next video. Fluffy boy, come on, hop up. Hop up. Thank you. I love you, pupper. Oh, finally. Oh.